I guess I'll start with our Jayadvani. Jai Saparikar Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Jiu Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Jiu Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava Jiu Ki Jai Jai Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Ashtatara Sata Shri Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astatara Sata Shri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astatara Sata Shri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astatara Sata Shri Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Asto Tarasata Shri Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Paramahansa Mahabhagavat Srila Gorakishore Das Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhaum Shri Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Gauriya Vedanta Charya Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu Ki Jai Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai Shri Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Trai Ki Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shada Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Srila Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Gaur Parshada Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Antardweep Mayapur Simanta Dweep Godram Dweep Majid Dweep Kola Dweep Rita Dweep Jana Dweep Moda Drama Dweep Ruda Dweep Atmaka Shri Shri Navadweep Dhama Ki Jai Shri Purushottam Kshetra Shri Jagannath Puri Dhama Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Govardhan Dvadashavanatmaka Shri Braj Mandala Dhama Ki Jai Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Yamuna Ganga Tulsi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda Radha Gopinath Radha Madan Mohan Jiu Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Raman Radha Damodar Jiu Ki Jai Srimati Lalita Vishaka Adi Ashtasaki Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Rupa Manjari Rati Manjari Ananga Manjari Adi Manjari Vrinda Ki Jai Srimati Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Srimati Purnamasi Yogamaya Devi Ki Jai Shri Gopishwar Mahadev Ki Jai Sarva Bhishta Pradata Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Jiu Ki Jai Bhakti Vigna Vinashana Shri Nrsinga Dev Ki Jai Bhakta Pravada Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai Charodam Charo Sampradaya Charo Acharya Ki Jai Akara Matraj Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai Orananya Shaka Mat Samuha Ki Jai Shri Vishwa Vaishnav Raj Sabha Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Tribhuvana Pavana Harinam Samkirtana Ki Jai Tribhuvana Mangala Harinama Prabhu Ki Jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai Shri Nityananda Mahajana Ki Jai Shri Pancha Tattva Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga হবে পুলকাশারীরা হরি হরি বলিতে না জানে বাবনীরা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলকাশারীরা হরি হরি বলিতে না জানে বাবনীরা আর খবে নিতাই চন্দ্রের করুণা হইবে সংসার বাসনা মোর কবে চুচ হবে বিষয় চরিয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হাম হে রব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন রূপ রঘুনাথ পদে হইবে আকুতি কবে হাম ভুজব সে যুগল প্রীতি রূপ রঘুনাথ পদে রহু মোরয়াস প্রার্থনা করো এ সদা নরোত্তম দাস Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. 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 Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Show me how you put your kartals on. How you wrap around the cloth on the kartals. Show me how you do it.
Wrap around what?
The cloth, this cloth, the string, how do you wrap it around your fingers? Start from the beginning. From the beginning. Yeah, you're doing it opposite. You're doing it opposite.
Because
I know.
Left hand.
What?
I'm not right hand.
That doesn't matter. I'm saying you're doing it the opposite way. What you're doing is you're taking the end of it. And it's not your fault, because I've never shown you this. I should have shown you this. You're going like this, from the end. That's not how it's done. The way that it's done is to put your finger right next to the kartal. Okay? And then wrap it around the kartal, like that. You see? You see? It has to be at the joint of your finger where you do it, where your finger bends. That will hold this on and that's how you can control the kartal. If you do it your way, you can't actually control the kartal. So when you put first of all, you put your pointing finger right here, like this. Then you take this and you wrap it, first of all, around your finger and around the kartal. You don't do it fully around your finger. You only do it from here up to, see, like this. You do it like this. And then around the kartal. See, around the kartal. Look. Then around the kartal, like that. Then what you have is like this. And you can control the kartal. I'll show you. When you do it on the other side also. like that. And you can do all of this by putting your thumb there and holding on to it. This is the way you actually put kartals, and we watched our Srila Prabhupada. There are many videos of him where he would go like this with his thumbs. Although I don't do that, and it's not necessary, but that was Prabhupada's style. Like that. Okay, so show me now. No, from the beginning, show me how you do it. Yes, no? I can't see from here so well.
No.
Show me.
You did it right, but I think you went around too many times.
Okay, so here's the thing. Every devotee will feel it out how many times, but you at least need to go around 2 times, maybe 3. Okay, and then that holds it, because while you're playing it, sometimes it gets loosened, and then in one or 2 seconds you can immediately again make it tight like that. So that's how it's done. I just thought I'd show that because that's very important for those who play kartals. All right, so now we'll start our katha. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Tise Nama Nityanandam Namastubhyam Prem Ananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Nama Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Brindai Tulsidev Bhai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Nama Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Ashto Tarashata Sri Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa, Ashtotarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa, Ashtotarasata Sri Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my Dandavat pranams at the lotus feet of my Sri Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga, and especially yesterday was the holy disappearance day on Monday of Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad. So I will speak from Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, short presentation on him. And also today are two disappearance days. Srila Bhakti Hriday Bon Goswami Maharaj, who was the first one to be sent to the West by Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who was sent to England to preach. And Bhakti Saurabh, wait a second. Also disappearance of Srila Bhakti Saurabh Sar Goswami Maharaj, disciple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then we'll speak about Srila Sanatan Goswami. I'm just going to do this briefly. But for Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, we have the beautiful commentary. Okay. So now, Srila Bhaktivigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj is telling that the Avirbhav and the Tirobhav Titis, appearance and disappearance days, of the Vaishnavas are equally worshipable, equally. Their remembrance is our duty and also our wealth, whereas their forgetfulness is our greatest source of misfortune and difficulty, called vipada. Vipada refers to something that nobody wants. So remembering Vaishnavas is our essential duty. Now he's quoting from Srila Kavi Karnapur, Sri Gora Ganodesh Deepika, verse 163, the verse regarding Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati, what is his identity in Krishna Lila. So Tunga Vidya Vraje Yasit Sarva Shastra Visharada Sa Prabodhananda Yatir Gorad Gana Saraswati. This means that the Gopi, Tunga Vidya, who was most learned in all the scriptures, she has today become the sannyasi, Prabodhananda, whose words are all used in the glorification of Lord Gauranga. What? Oh. No, there was something before. It's ending there. No, wait. Let me look at the... No, that's it. I forgot about... Srila Bhakti Balabhatirtha Maharaj, what? Yeah, I don't have that here with me. It's on my laptop. Well, just to add to that, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, he has written some of the most important Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures amongst even the 6 Goswamis. And he was extremely learned. Who was he? He was the 3rd brother of the 3 brothers in South India. I mentioned this the other day. That when Mahaprabhu stayed in Sri Rangam for 4 months, he stayed with this family of Venkatabhatta, Trimala Bhatta, and Prabodhananda Saraswati, these 3 brothers. The son of Srila Venkatabhatta was Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who was a smaller, still in his childhood, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited and stayed for 4 months with them there. But later on, Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, he went to Vrindavan. And actually he never went to Navadvip. He never went there, but yet he wrote 100 shlokas glorifying Sri Navadvip Dham. So did he have darshan of Navadvip? Absolutely. Not like just eye darshan, like someone coming here. Okay. He had darshan of Navadvip Dham, and therefore he wrote Sri Navadvip Dham Shataka, 100 verses glorifying Sri Navadvip Dham. He was residing in Vrindavan. I mentioned this the other day. Do you remember what I said, where his samadhi is? Remember? In Vrindavan, when you go to the Kaliya Daha, so just in the backside of there is his samadhi. So he resided there while he was in Vrindavan. Of course, at that time there were practically no roads. It was all forest on the river Yamuna. And he lived there for many, many years. There he wrote, what is it again? Sri Vrindavan Mahimamritam. Sri Vrindavan Mahimamrita means the supreme glories of Sri Vrindavan. Now, what we have remaining, because guess how many shlokas he wrote glorifying Vrindavan? He wrote 100, because having 100 shlokas together is called a shataka. To have 100 shlokas that you write. But he wrote 100 shatakas. So what does that mean? It means 10,000 verses. 10,000 verses. But most of it has disappeared. There's about 17 shatakas remaining, which means 1,700 verses. That is the Vrindavan Mahimamritam that we possess to this day. Then he also wrote the quintessential glorification of Srimati Radharani called Shri Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhi. Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhi. Sudha means nectar. And Nidhi means ocean. So the nectar ocean of Radha Rasa, which is the topmost glorification of Srimati Radharani. Then he also wrote Chaitanya Chandramrita. Chaitanya Chandra Amrita. The nectar of Chaitanya Chandra, glorifying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Some very, very important shlokas are there. So those are the 3 major works that I can recall right now. Do you have that commentary? If I can just borrow your phone and read it from there, unless there's a different way. Thank you. Wow. So this is from Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Maharaj's book. Yeah, I'll have to get this PDF file, right? Yeah. Okay. So now I already read the verse. So Venkatabhatta, who lived in South India, and he held a special position amongst all the Brahmins, as he was very learned in all the scriptures. Venkatabhatta. And there was a Vaishnava, this is from the Chaitanya Charitamritam, it's quoted from Madhya Lila chapter 9 verse 82, that there was a Vaishnava of the Sri Sampradaya named Venkatabhatta who respectfully invited the Lord to his house. Now, in his commentary to this verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written the following: that Venkatabhatta, Trimalabhatta, and Prabodhananda Saraswati, they were previously acharyas, actually. They were acharyas of the Sri Sampradaya. Gopal Bhatta Goswami was the son of Venkatabhatta. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur has also commented on the same verse. And this is what he told. Sri Venkatabhatta was a Brahmin of the Sri Sampradaya who lived in Sri Rangam. Sri Rangam is situated in Tamil Nadu, where people do not use the names Venkata and Tirumala, which were the names of Venkata's brother. So it is likely that they came from elsewhere. So this family had possibly moved to Sri Rangam not long before Mahaprabhu's visit there. And Venkatabhatta belonged to the Varangalai branch of the Ramanuja Sampradaya. So one of his brothers was the Tridandi sannyasi Prabodhananda, who acted as an acharya of the school, of that school. And Venkatabhatta's son was Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So these three brothers, they were originally worshippers of Lakshmi Narayan. But they were later converted to the worship of Radha and Krishna by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has described this conversion in his Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati's disciple was his own nephew, Gopal Bhatta, one of the 6 Goswamis. And here's from the Hari Bhakti Vilas. Here's a quotation stating this fact. Bhakter vilasams chinute prabodha nandasya shishyo bhagavat priyasya gopala bhatto raghunatha dasam santoshayam rupa sanatanocha. So Gopal Bhatta, the disciple of Prabodhananda, who is dear to the Lord, he has compiled these devotional activities to satisfy Raghunath Das, Rupa, and Sanatan Goswamis. So Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati, he wrote a number of books, including Vrindavana Shataka, Nabadvip Shataka, Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, and Chaitanya Chandramritam, which are especially loved by Rasik devotees. Some of his other works are Sangita Madhava, Ascharya Rasa Prabandha, Shruti Stuti Vyakya, Gita Govinda Vyakhyana, and Kama Bij Kama Gayatri Vyakhyana. So the question is raised, and our Gurudev also had mentioned in his writings, the question is raised, is Prabodhananda, is he Prakashananda? Are they the same person? You know Prakashananda Saraswati? When Mahaprabhu was there in Varanasi, the leader of all the Mayavadi sannyasis of that time was named Prakashananda Saraswati. And Mahaprabhu converted all of them. So the question is, some people have made some proclamation that Prabodhananda Saraswati is actually Prakashananda. So here's the answer to that question, which is not reasonable at all. So in the 3rd chapter of the Madhya Kanda of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada makes the following observation. Quote, Prakashananda was a teacher of the Mayavad doctrine, and he was a sannyasi. And during his discourses on the Vedanta, on the Veda, he would cut the Lord's divine and transcendental body into pieces. Some simplistic people say that this Prakashananda is the very same person as Venkatabhatta's younger brother Prabodhananda, who lived on the banks of the Kaveri. This erroneous belief has found its way into the Sahajiya text, Bhaktamala, and even into the writings of many modern scholars. Okay, so this is from the commentary statement by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in the Madhya Kanda of the Chaitanya Charita, or Chaitanya Bhagavat. So the observations made here by Saraswati Thakur are quite true. In his dictionary called Ashutosh, Ashutosh Deb, he states, Prabodhananda was a Vaishnava philosopher whose real name was Prakashananda Saraswati. Chaitanya Dev gave him the name Prabodhananda. Furthermore, Haridas Das has also written in his Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidan, some people hold that Prabodhananda is the Vaishnava name given to Prakashananda. It is quite clear from the last verse of Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi that Prabodhananda had at one time been a Mayavadi sannyasi. So we would argue that the words to which Haridas refers, Mayavadarka Tapa Santapta. What is the meaning of that? It means roasted by the burning sun of impersonalism. We argue that these words are not acceptable as proof of Prabodhananda's former adherence to the impersonalist philosophy or of his having been a Mayavadi at one time. Mahaprabhu and all his followers argued against the impersonalist doctrines as much as they could because of extreme opposition, the extreme opposition to devotion of those Mayavad doctrines. So in this spirit, Prabodhananda is simply glorifying Mahaprabhu's quality as the deliverer of the most fallen, and also drawing attention to just how far-reaching his mercy is. That's what it's telling. So the Lord's deliverance of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Prakashananda Saraswati are even greater feats of mercy than the salvation of sinners like Jagai and Madhai. Imagine. Now, the Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta, his introduction to Chaitanya Chandramrita. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he has given an excellent account of Prabodhananda Saraswati's life in his introduction to the Chaitanya Mat edition of Chaitanya Chandramrita. So since we feel that we cannot improve on this description, we reproduce it here in full for the benefit of the reader. Here is the introduction. In 1510 AD, this is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati writing, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to South India, ostensibly on pilgrimage, but in fact his purpose was to show his mercy to his devotees. Starting from Puri in Orissa, he traveled southward to the Godavari River, and then he continued onward through various other holy places. And Mahaprabhu found himself in Sri Rangam on the Ekadasi of the waxing fortnight of the month of Ashar. And the sannyasis of the Dashnami order which he belonged to, normally they follow the Chaturmasya vows. And so the Lord decided to spend this 4-month period in the town of Sri Rangam. Sri Rangam is the residence of many Vaishnavas of the Sri Sampradaya. And the Vaishnavas of this school, they are strict in their practice. And as a result, the Smarta Brahmanas throughout southern India, they find it difficult to live in villages where they have a strong presence. So at the time Mahaprabhu visited Sri Rangam, it was a holy place, and it was inhabited exclusively by Vaishnavas of the Sri Sampradaya. So Mahaprabhu He thus considered it to be most favorable environment for the execution of his 4-month vow. And so he spent this period in visiting the temple of Ranganath and in preaching about Krishna. The 3 brothers, Tirumalai, Venkata, and Prabodhananda, had recently come from Mysore to live in Sri Rangam. So that's where they're from. They were not Tamils, but either from Andhra or Uttar Pradesh. The Lord was particularly merciful to this Brahmin family, and he spent the 4 months of the rainy season in their house. The Vaishnavas of the Sri Sampradaya are devoted to the worship of Lakshmi Narayan. So by Mahaprabhu's blessings, the Bhatta family developed a taste for Krishna Rasa. The middle brother, Venkata, had a 5-year-old son, Gopal, who later became famous as one of the 6 Goswamis. The Lord's conversation with Venkata Bhatta is described in the 9th chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita's Madhya Lila. Although we know nothing more about Tirumalai, we can surmise that he, like his brothers, was totally devoted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Gopal, the son, became Gopal Bhatta Goswami. What is Gopal Bhatta Goswami famous for? Do you know, of the 6 Goswamis? Gopal Bhatta Goswami. What is he famous for? In Vrindavan. He lived in Vrindavan. Where did he live in Vrindavan? You don't know? And you've been going for weeks to the Radharaman temple in Vrindavan? Gopal Bhatta Goswami is the 6th Goswami who worshipped the Shalagram Shilas, and later they were converted into Sri Radharaman. The whole family line there is from the priests that he appointed to look after Radharaman. They're not the descendants of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. How can they be? He was never married. But all of those family line, they all have taken charge of worshipping Sri Radharaman. So never forget this fact. Gopal Bhatta Goswami. That's what he's famous for. And if you go into the Samadhi of Gurudev and you see the 6 Goswamis, then right in front of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he's worshipping shalagrams. Okay? So I thought I'd throw that at you to test you, because you were there for so many weeks in Vrindavan, but yet you could not answer the question. All right, so now, so the 3rd brother, Prabodhananda, was unequaled in his attachment to Sri Chaitanya. It was through his pure teachings that Venkata's son Gopal Bhatta later became the great Acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnav school. Prabodhananda himself has a particularly elevated position amongst the followers of Sri Chaitanya. Kavi Karnapur identified him as Tungavidya. Who is Tungavidya? Do you know who Tungavidya is?
I have bad memory with names.
What?
I have bad memory with names.
But you don't know the name, who it's referring to? How many Sakis does Krishna have? Yeah, but specifically beginning with how many?
8.
Yes. What are they called? Ashta Sakis. The Ashta Sakis, the 8 Sakis. Huh?
Names.
What?
I thought you were speaking about names.
Yeah, but I just asked the question, how many Sakis does Krishna have? And you said 108. And then I said, but the topmost amongst those are 8. Because why? Why are they the topmost? These 8 Sakis. Out of all of Krishna's Sakis, millions of Sakis, why are these 8 the topmost and the most important? What is special about them? They are direct expansions of who? You don't know? They are directly bodily expansions of Srimati Radharani in 8 forms. So they have unparalleled qualities that none of the others have. So, Tungavidya is one of them. What are the names of the 8 Ashtashakis? Can you name any of them?
Lalita and Vishaka.
You're correct. Those are 2. 2 down, 6 to go. We already know that one. Actually, there's only 5 to go. Because we already know that Tungavidya is also one of them. Okay, Rangadevi.
We have to call Achyuta.
No, you don't. You have to memorize these. That's what you have to do. So, Lalita Vishaka, Chitra Induleka, Rangadevi Sudevi, Champaklata, Tungavidya. These are the names of the 8 Sakis. If you go over to Mayapur ISKCON temple, have you been there? To the Mayapur ISKCON temple, the old temple, not the new one that they're building. Who's on the altar there?
Each second.
Huh?
Each second.
That's all? Only 8 Sakis?
Krishna.
Huh?
Krishna, Nrsimha, and Panchatattva.
Krishna and Nrsimha?
Yes, and Panchatattva.
No, but who's on that same altar with the Ashtasakis?
Krishna and Radha.
Radha and Krishna are in the middle, and 4 Sakis on each side. This is very, very important Siddhanta of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So, Tungavidya Saki descended in Gaur Leela as Prabodhananda Saraswati. Who did Lalita and Vishaka descend in Gaur Leela as? Which great associates of Mahaprabhu are the incarnations of Lalita Devi and Vishaka Devi in Gaur Leela? Who? Who is he? Wrong. Yes, that's a real big, one to figure out because there's only 2. And who's the other? What? You forgot. My God. Ramananda Roy. Have you ever read Chaitanya Charitamrita from beginning to end? From beginning to end, you read it. Who was with... Huh?
I don't remember.
Who was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all of his final years in Jagannath Puri? I told it just the other day in the class.
I remember the names for the
Who was... There's only 2 names to remember. Yes, they were with Mahaprabhu in the room throughout the night to assist Mahaprabhu in relishing and tasting what? Srimati Radhika's Unnata Ujjvala Ras Prem Ras. Yes. Okay? And the other Ashtasakis, they also descended as different associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Krishna in Gaur Leela. Now, so Kavi Karnapur identified Prabodhananda as Tungavidya in his Gaur Ganodesha Deepika. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, he is identified as Gopal Bhatta Goswami's guru. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who lived there, where? Where did he live? Gopal Bhatta Goswami? Where did Gopal Bhatta Goswami, the son of Venkata Bhatta Goswami, where did he live in Vrindavan?
Nearby this snake area.
No, I'm asking about Gopal Bhatta Goswami. I'm not asking about Prabodhananda Saraswati.
Okay.
Where did Gopal Bhatta Goswami live when he lived in Vrindavan? Just before I asked you, who is Gopal Bhatta Goswami? What is he famous for?
I don't know my memory. I can't, for me this is the names just not, I even forget my name. Sometimes just your names I can't call. And you ask me.
But we just said this a few minutes ago, that Gopal Bhatta Goswami was... Yes, Radharaman. Who was his guru? We just heard it. Prabodhananda Saraswati was his uncle. But Prabodhananda Saraswati, who lived near the Yamuna River at Kaliyadaha, he was also the guru of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Yes. So then, and in the Bhakti Ratnakara, the following passages about him, they are found. Here's the following passages from the Bhakti Ratnakara. Everyone glorified Prabodhananda's virtues, and he was thus given the title Saraswati, by which he was known everywhere. Prabodhananda Saraswati. Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the Supreme Lord, and he is the complete divinity. Prabodhananda held him so dear that he knew nothing but the Lord, even in his dreams. Prabodhananda was greatly renounced. He was affection incarnate and very handsome, as well as being a very great poet, expert in singing, in playing musical instruments and dancing. Everyone's joy increased on hearing him speak. These are some of the unlimited glories of Prabodhananda Saraswati. That's from the Bhakti Ratnakara. Now, a few years after Mahaprabhu had returned to Puri, then Mahaprabhu entered into a deep understanding, then Prabodhananda entered into a deep understanding of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's most intimate teachings. A few years after Mahaprabhu had returned to Puri from Srirangam. So therefore, Prabodhananda left Srirangam and he went to live in Kamyavan in the Mathura region. Then Gopal Bhatta also gradually developed an intense desire to come and live in Braj, so he followed the path taken by his uncle and guru. Then many people asked the question, if Prabodhananda was so dear to Chaitanya, then why is his name not mentioned anywhere in Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Chaitanya Charitamrita? Would Krishnadas not have included such a great personality's pastimes for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas? So we find an adequate response to this question in the Bhakti Ratnakara, written by Narahari Chakravarti. He writes that, quote, some people have described the activities of Gopal Bhatta while others have not. Those who cannot understand the reason for this engage in useless argument, with the result that they allow an offensive attitude to take root in them. Previously, great Rasik devotee poets like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who were quite capable of describing these things, they did not do so in order that others would be able to do so in the future. So Gopal Bhatta enthusiastically gave his approval to the writing of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, but he did not allow Krishnadas Kaviraj to write anything about him. Who knows why he did this? Most likely, it was his great humility. But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was not able to ignore his command. That's the quote from the Bhakti Ratnakara that explains this. So now there's a section, Prabodhananda and Swakiya Rasa. What is Swakiya Rasa? Swakiya. Well, I'll give you a hint. There's two types of rasa in Madhurya Rasa. Swakiya and Parakiya. You've heard of them? What is Swakiya and what is Parakiya?
One of them is husband and wife, and
One of them is what? Yes. One of them is married.
married, another not married.
Not married. But they are married. In Parakiya Rasa, the gopis who meet Krishna in the mood of Parakiya, they are married. To who?
Yes,
They're married to who?
married.
Yes, they're married to their so-called husbands. But Parakiya Rasa cannot exist because Parakiya means having another beloved besides your husband. Okay? So the highest quintessence of all Madhurya Rasa is exhibited in Sri Vrindavan Dham in the form of Parakiya Rasa. The song which is sung every day in the Gaudiya Mat of this line of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, it's sung after the Mangalartik when they circumambulate the temple. Do you know what song that is? Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinata, Madana Mohan, Shama Kunda Radha Kunda, Giri Govardhan, Kalindi Jamuna Jaya, Jaya Mahavan. So in this way, this song by a devotee named Krishna Das, he has summarized and mentioned the names of all the principal places and personalities in Vraja. At the end of that song, then he says, Jaya Jai Ujvala Rasa, Sarva Rasa Sar, Parakiya Bhave Jaha, Brajete Prachar. Here he says, Jaya Jai Ujvala Rasa, all glories to the mood of Madhurya Rasa, which is known as Ujvala Rasa. Because Sarva Rasa Sar. Sarva Rasa, Sar, means all rasas. This Ujvala Rasa is the essence of all the other 5 principal rasas. It is the essence, sarva rasa sar. In that rasa, ujjvala rasa, parakiya bhave, the mood of parakiya bhav towards Krishna, that they're hiding their love for Krishna in their environment of their marriage to their so-called husbands. But they always hide their love for Krishna. And they also secretly go to meet Krishna. That's called parakiya rasa. Parakiya rasa. So, sarva rasa sar, parakiya bhave jaha, brajete prachar. In Braja, in the most exalted place of the entire spiritual world, which in the planet of Goloka Vrindavan called Braj, the center of the lotus flower, the whorl, that place is known as Braj. And all of the Braj pastimes, Braj Leela, everything in Braj is doing what? They are promoting, supporting Brajete Prachar. That means they're supporting Parakiya Bhav. So it's quite important to know this fact, because this is our goal. This is the goal. So now some Rupanuga Vaishnavas, some of them, they say that Prabodhananda's writing, they show a tendency to the Svakya doctrine. What is Svakya? Married. They thus do not show a great enthusiasm for studying his books, in the conviction that Rupa Goswami's Parakiya Vad is superior. We hold that anyone who is devoted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is blessed. And so we simply follow Narahari Chakravarti, a neutral commentator, and we avoid useless argument. We relish the writings of Prabodhananda, which are filled with the sweetness of servitude to Krishna in the Parakiya mood. So Prabodhananda's language, it contains philosophical weight, heaviness. And it also contains the sweetness of divine love in equal measure. Philosophical heaviness and the sweetness of divine love. Equally, all of his writings contain this. So Mahaprabhu's devotees, they take great pleasure in reading Prabodhananda's Vrindavana Shataka, an enthusiastic glorification of Vrindavan Dham. His Nabadweep Shataka resembles this work, glorifying Nabadweep in the same spirit. His Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi is truly unequaled in the entire world. And from a purely literary point of view, the Chaitanya Chandramrita is not regarded as of the same caliber. Nevertheless, it is extremely dear to the devotees who are attached to the mellows of devotion to Lord Hari. And one experiences a work as being superior or inferior according to one's taste. So thus the transcendental moods of Vraj Bhakti can only have an effect on readers who have accumulated pious activities in their previous lives. Now, in his notices of manuscripts, Professor Aufrecht, he attributes another book, Viveka Shataka, to Prabodhananda Saraswati. This manuscript was in the possession of the late Ramdas Sain of Berhampur. Aufrecht, this Professor Aufrecht, he also lists Sangita Madhava as one of Prabodhananda's works. We managed to trace this work and we published it in Sajjana Toshani, volumes 18, 5 through 12. So, the Chaitanya Chandramrita was widely distributed in Bengal. and even those who are inimical to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they became purified upon reading this Chaitanya Chandramrita. And they experienced a change of heart. And it goes without saying that those who are his devotees, they will be immersed in an ocean of indescribable ecstasy when they read it. Indeed, it is not surprising if the Lord of Goloka comes and stays in someone's house and accepts his service for 4 whole months, so would he not bestow the most rare form of love of Godhead upon his entire household? So the blessed members of such a household would naturally possess an abundance of priceless love, from which we insignificant living entities, to our great benefit, we may hope to gain some leftover crumbs. Now, Prakashananda Saraswati, some people try to identify Prabodhananda with the Mayavadi sannyasi, Prakashananda Saraswati, who lived in Benares, which is Varanasi. Now, we do not find their arguments at all convincing for the following reasons. Here's the first one. Prakashananda Saraswati is first mentioned in the 3rd chapter of the Madhya Kanda in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. And here's that quote from the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Kanda, 3rd chapter, that the Lord constantly floated in the joys of devotion along with his followers in Navadvip. And one day he heard a verse that was glorifying the Varaha avatar. Then, roaring ecstatically, he went to Murari Gupta's house. Murari, this is Mahaprabhu in his Navadvip Leela as a householder. Murari glorified him with hymns of praise, and this satisfied the Lord. But he began to speak in anger against some portions of the Vedas. And he said, Mahaprabhu, in the mood of being Varahadev, he said, the Vedas say that I have no hands, no feet, face or eyes. This is the way that they make a mockery of me. There is even a rascal in Kashi named Prakashananda who teaches people impersonalism, cutting up my body into little pieces. He states that the Veda does not accept that I have a body. And now his entire body has become infected with leprosy, yet he still does not accept my transcendental form. My body is completely pure, the essence of all sacrifices. Brahma, Shiva, and the other gods all glorify my form and activities. What audacity this rascal has to say that my body is false when one becomes purified and accumulates merit by coming into contact with my body. So this event, it took place sometime between 1504 and 1509 AD, 4 years. Mahaprabhu came to Sri Rangam in 1512, which is the first time that he met Prabodhananda and his brothers. These 3 brothers were Vaishnavas who were following the Ramanuja in the Sri Sampradaya, and thus they accepted Narayan's eternality. And meanwhile, Prakashananda, he was a prominent follower of Shankar's doctrine, a Mayavadi sannyasi. It is sheer madness for anyone to claim that these 2 persons were one and the same person. Why? Because of the years that were just mentioned. So, again in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Kanda, the following mention is made of Prakashananda Saraswati. So this is again a quote from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Madhyakanda. As he spoke, the Lord was suddenly possessed by the spirit of the divinity. Then grinding his teeth, he angrily spoke the following words. That sannyasi, Prakashananda, is preaching in Kashi in a way that cuts my body into pieces. The rascal teaches Vedanta, but he does not accept my transcendental form. I have infected his body with leprosy, but still he does not understand. How can this rascal say that my body, which is the reservoir of unlimited universes, is false? I tell you truthfully, Murari, for you are my servant, that anyone who denies my transcendental form is destined for destruction. My Leela and my works, they are all real. My abode is real. Anyone who denies them will be struck down. The glories of the Lord will destroy one's ignorance if one hears them. But this sinful professor calls it all false. Anyone who has so little affection for my holy fame will never be able to understand my descent. So at this time, Prakashananda Saraswati was the leader of the Ekadandi Sannyasi followers of Shankar. Whereas Prabodhananda, he was a Tridandi Sannyasi in the line of Ramanuja who had moved to Sri Rangam from Mysore. And the Sri Vaishnavas, who renounce family life, they never take the single staff, the Ekadanda. Sri Vaishnavas do not carry the Ekadanda which the Mayavadis carry. So that Ekadanda is the mark of the Shankarites, followers of Shankar. Their custom is to take the triple staff, the Tridanda, and to take the title Ramanujacharya Swami. So Prakashananda, he was a Mayavadi living in Kashi, whereas Prabodhananda was a Vaishnava living in Kamyavan. One was a northerner, the other a southerner. One was an impersonalist and monist, and the other a devotee who first followed Ramanuja's Vishishta Advaitavad. And then he converted to Mahaprabhu's Achintya Beda Abeda Vad. One was an enemy of Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, and only after conversion he became a devotee. And the other was the guru of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, an eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and an acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Anyone who calls Gopal Bhatta Goswami's worshipable guru and uncle a Mayavadi and an enemy of Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, a conditioned soul, rather than an eternally perfect devotee of the highest order, is engaging in offensive insults that are sure to lead the one who makes them to a hellish destination. So an extensive description of Prakashananda Saraswati's conversion is given in two places. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat Adikanda, chapter 9, and in Madhyakanda, chapter 25. It is impossible to understand how someone who had been a Mayavadi from 1504 to 1509 could have then become a qualified dualist Vaishnava in South India in 1512, and then again become the leader of Kashi's Mayavadis in 1514. So therefore, any attempt to identify Prakashananda with Prabodhananda is evidence of extreme ignorance. It is no small cause of distress to see the tradition being distorted in this way. Now, as proof of his humility, Prabodhananda asked through Gopal Bhatta that his own activities not be described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was not able to disobey this order. And so today we have this difference of opinion. So if Prabodhananda had known that as a result of this silence, people would later fall into confusion and they would identify him with someone who preached against Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, then he would surely not have instructed Gopal Bhatta and Krishnadas Kaviraj in this way. So anyone who reads the Bhakti Ratnakara, they will understand. So the author of that book, Bhakti Ratnakara, he writes as follows. Gaurachandra was the wealth of Tirumalai, Venkata, and Prabodhananda's lives. And the three of them were worshippers of Lakshmi Narayan, whose preference changed to Radha and Krishna. First worshipping Lakshmi Narayan, and then their preference of a worshipful deity was changed by Mahaprabhu to Radha and Krishna as a result of the Lord's mercy. So the three of them, they wondered how they could possibly continue living in the Lord's absence. They wondered who would joke with them, who would accompany them to the Kaveri to bathe in the morning. So after 4 months, when the Lord left, the three brothers began to cry. Mahaprabhu embraced the three brothers, and he tried to console them. Some people glorified Prabodhananda's virtues, and thus he was known everywhere by his title, Saraswati. Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Absolute Truth. Prabodhananda held him so dear that he knew nothing but the Lord, even in his dreams. So this is the last sentence of this section. Some people claim upon reading the Chaitanya Chandramrita that Prabodhananda had been a worshipper of Brahman. But if we accept this without adequate supplementary evidence, we fall into difficulty. So that's the wonderful presentation by Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Maharaj on Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, whose disappearance day was yesterday. Very enlivening, very edifying, and very satisfying to see all these conclusions nicely put together in one place. So important, this disappearance day of the incarnation of Sri Tunga Vidya Sakhi, Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad. Well, we're going to try to fit in a little bit about Shripad Pujapad Bhakti Hriday Ban Maharaj. Yeah, but we'll only do a little of it. We don't have time for the whole thing. And we'll just find some brief mention of the other great personality whose disappearance day is also today, and that is Srimad Bhakti Saurabh Bhaktisar Maharaj. Bhakti Saurabh Bhaktisar, double Bhakti. Bhakti Saurabh Bhaktisar Maharaj. Yes. So, I'm just going to read. Let me just check here. Yeah, it's not very long, but it's not very short either. But we'll just get a little bit from the beginning. Yes, a little bit from the beginning. Well, I just scrolled really quickly and I thought it wasn't so long, but it's actually quite long. Anyway, we'll just read a little bit of the beginning of this. It's one of the personalities in Srila Bharati Maharaja's My Beloved Master's book. So it's on that list of his gurus. So here now is the section in the beginning, accepting the shelter of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. Now, Srimad Bhakti Saurabh Bhaktisar Goswami Maharaj, he appeared in Khulna district of East Bengal, the present-day Bangladesh, another one. And he was given the name Nanda Dulal. And he studied engineering at Raven Shaw College in Cuttack. where he came in contact with Sri Srimad Vraja Bihari Das Babaji Maharaj, the in charge of the local mutt established by Srila Prabhupada. Very good. She came back from Vrindavan on the train this morning. Okay. So he came in contact when he was in Cuttack at the university with Vraj Bihari Das Babaji Maharaj, who was in charge of the local mutt established by Srila Prabhupada. So although Srila Babaji Maharaj was not well educated, but he lectured daily on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita as per Srila Prabhupada's order. And because of his illiteracy, his manner of presenting discourses, it was not particularly scholarly. Nevertheless, illustrious academics and English professors were so moved by his simplicity that they joined the Gaudiya Mutt and became initiated devotees. He often told his listeners, he often said, "I am but a peon of my Gurudev and of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My delivery may be inadequate, but I always put forth my best effort in making sure that their message reaches your ears. Since you are learned, kindly correct whatever mistakes I may have made." So, being impressed by Srila Braj Bihari Babaji Maharaj's simplicity, Sri Nanda Dulal took full advantage of his daily association, and thus a strong desire arose within him to take shelter of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. So through this pastime, Sri Nanda Dulal taught that the worldly knowledge of platform speakers can never infuse devotion in a person's heart. Although a well-spoken politician may expertly prepare a moving speech in less than half an hour, but the effect of his rhetoric is merely temporary. Conversely, the incoherent speech of an entirely illiterate but surrendered devotee is so courageous that it inspires devotion in the hearts of those who hear it, even though it may be devoid of any scriptural references. It was with such surrendered devotees in mind that Srila Prabhupada wrote in his poem Vaishnava Ke, "Pran ache jar se hetu prachar." He who has life can preach. Pran ache jar se hetu prachar. So when Sri Nanda Dulal notified his greatly pious mother and father of his desire to accept the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, his father encouraged him to join the mutt. He said, "If you want to perform Hari Bhajan," he told his son, "I will personally take you to Srila Prabhupada, and I will offer you at his lotus feet." Then Sri Nanda Dulal accepted this proposal, and his mother and father both accompanied him to Sridham Mayapur, where Srila Prabhupada agreed to award the three of them Harinam and Diksha initiations. So henceforth, Sri Nanda Dulal became known as Sri Nani Gopal Brahmachari. And after offering his son at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, Sri Nanda Dulal's father told his son, "I am very pleased you have decided to surrender yourself to Srila Prabhupada. May you always serve our Gurudev's lotus feet. I beg you, please forget me and never return home. It would make me proud if you were to follow this instruction of mine." What a father, huh? So in this way, Sri Nanda Dulal's father proved himself to be his son's true guardian. Now Chaitanya Mangal has a quotation here. "Se Parama Bandhu se Pita Mata, Shri Krishna Charane Jai Prem Bhakti Data." Sri Chaitanya Mangal, this is a quote, "He who gives you loving devotion for the lotus feet of Sri Krishna is your ultimate friend, is your father, and your mother." So that very year in 1930, Sri Nani Gopal Brahmachari was appointed as a teacher at the Thakur Bhaktivinoda Institute in Sri Dham, Mayapur, and he was assigned to the editorial team of the Gaudiya Math's daily newspaper, Dainik Nadia Prakash. So eventually, on the order of Srila Prabhupada, he went on to preach in many cities in India. And after Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, Sri Nani Gopal Brahmachari remained under the guidance of Srila Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj, who awarded him sannyas and who gave him the name Srimad Bhakti Saurabh Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj. He became the editor of Sri Saraswat Gaudiya, a monthly magazine published by Sri Gaudiya Sangha, that is the institution of Srila Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj established. So by authoring many articles that were printed in various Gaudiya Math magazines, Srila Maharaj contributed to the service of Srila Prabhupada's Brihat Mridanga, his printing press. And in Vrindavan, he managed the Imli Tala Math for a long time. He is largely responsible for its stunningly beautiful preservation. So those two mutts I know of, Imli Tala and here in Mayapur, where the Samadhi. I think it's the Pushpa Samadhi in Vrindavan, but I'm not sure. But there's the Samadhi also of Srila Bhakti Saranga Goswami at his temple, which he was requested to found a temple by his godbrothers, and so that's the temple which is also known as where Gaur Nityananda Prabhu met each other for the first time. Nandanacharya Bhavan? Yeah, Nandanacharya Bhavan. So whenever my Guru Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Doyata Madhav Goswami Maharaj, whenever he would visit Vrindavan, then Srila Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj would always visit him. Their relationship was very sweet and respectful. Without fail, Srila Maharaj would always insist on bringing Guru Maharaj to Imli Tala, where he would serve Guru Maharaj and all his devotees prasad. You know Imli Tala? Where is Imli Tala? Near which temple?
Our temple,
The
second.
Gopinath? Gopinath Bhavan. Gopinath Bhavan, right next door. Yes. And after Srila Goswami Maharaj's disappearance, then Srila Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj was appointed the Acharya of the Sri Gaudiya Sangha. But upon encountering various disturbances, he regarded his appointment as unfavorable for his practice of bhakti, and he promptly resigned. And he submitted his resignation letter in person to the concerned parties, thus demonstrating his complete lack of conceit and selfishness. His simplicity was boundless, and he was entirely niskinchan. He accepted Krishna as his only wealth. So through his personal example, Srila Maharaj established that a sadhak must give up all that is unfavorable for the practice of bhakti. He was not attached to the prestige that comes with a high-ranking position. Rather, he was interested only in rendering service to Sri Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. We should be careful not to conclude that Srila Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj gave up his service. He simply decided to perform that service in a situation that he found more favorable for the execution of bhakti. So after resigning from his post as Acharya of Sri Gaudiya Sangha, he established a mutt in Siudi, West Bengal, where he once invited Guru Maharaj to deliver a series of lectures. So Sri Srimad Bhakti Alok Paramahansa Maharaj donated half of his property in Sridham Mayapur to his godbrother Srila Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj, so that Srila Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj could construct a mutt there. However, as soon as Srila Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj began laying the foundation, then some Bangladeshi refugees pitched tents and began squatting on that land, citing the authority of a particular police officer. Then Srila Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj was unconcerned about the situation, told his godbrother, Shripad Krishna Keshava Brahmachari, I will not build anything there. Who wants to get involved in all these problems? I will simply stay with one of my godbrothers. So one day, when Sripad Krishna Keshava Brahmachari accompanied me to the Ghat to take a boat to Krishnanagar, he showed me Srila Bhaktisar Goswami Maharaj's land, and he said, "Look, some people are camping there with the support of the police, and Srila Bhaktisar Maharaj is not very motivated to deal with the matter. Can you help him with this?" So this is Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj he's asking. "Certainly," I said. "It wouldn't take me more than half an hour to evict all these people. Send word to the father of that policeman. Tell him, Bharati Maharaj says if your son wants to keep his job, then the place should be totally empty by the time I return to Mayapur. Otherwise, you must teach your son a lesson by filing a lawful complaint against him." Then Sripad Krishna Keshava Prabhu did as I requested, and the squatters left the next day after receiving a small compensation for the cost of their tents. Once his land was cleared of all refugees, then Srila Bhaktisar Goswami Maharaj told me, "Due to my godbrother Sri Krishna Keshava Brahmachari's concern for me, you delivered a harsh message to that policeman's father. Generally speaking, it is inappropriate for someone wearing the garb of a sadhu to speak in such a manner. However, it is your duty to extend yourself as far as necessary in order to serve Sri Guru, Vaishnavas and Bhagavan. There is no fault if such service requires you to resort to threats." Then, Guru Maharaj, he regularly held religious assemblies in many places, including Calcutta, Puri, and Vrindavan. So on the invitation cards, he always included the names of his invited godbrothers, along with brief introductions. So once, one of Guru Maharaj's godbrothers became angry to see that Guru Maharaj had not included an introduction next to his name. So he told some of his other godbrothers, "Why hasn't Madhav Maharaj included an introduction of me? He hasn't introduced himself and his other godbrothers as the founder acharyas of their respective institutions, but he has not mentioned any details about me. This is entirely improper." So in reply, Srila Bhaktisar Goswami Maharaj, who was straightforward and without malice, he said, "You have only recently acquired a small place that has but 2 rooms. You have not held any festival there. So Sripad Madhav Maharaj has no way of knowing where it is. Are you a sadhu? If so, then you must always remain humble. Does your disposition reflect the meaning of Trinada Pisu Nichena, the quality of being humbler than a blade of grass? In the past, Sripad Madhav Maharaj has shown you great respect, even though you are his junior. Why then are you so angry? You cannot even imagine the depth to which Sri Hayagriva Brahmachari has entered the innermost region of Srila Prabhupada's heart. Do not pay attention to all these trivialities and thus cheat yourself of the essence, which is association with and service to sadhus." Very instructive. So, whose service is most superior? This is the section. Srila Bhaktisar Goswami Maharaj told me that he once posed a question to his godbrothers. Quote, "According to their respective capacities, the many sannyasis and brahmacharis of the Mutt are busily engaged from morning to night in various services. So Srila Prabhupada's Grihastha and his Vanaprastha disciples, they also perform many different services. Do considerations of superiority and inferiority apply to the activities of service? If so, then which service is considered most exalted and whose service is topmost?" So after an extensive discussion, they could not reach a solid conclusion. And so they relayed the question to Srila Prabhupada via Sri Paramananda Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada answered with one sentence. "The more love one has for the Vaishnavas, the more exalted one's service is." That's the criteria. In other words, There are no big or small services. Rather, it is the servant's mood that makes his service either first, second, or third class. And one day, while giving darshan to his disciples, Srila Bhaktisar Goswami Maharaj said, I have spoken many things, and you have all heard so much. Remain engaged in spiritual activities, and thus you will go somewhere, and one day you will obtain what you seek. Now, speaking this much, he fell silent. So, I'm just going to repeat this again. He told to his disciples, I have spoken many things to you, and you have all heard so much from me. You should all remain engaged in spiritual activities, and thus you will go somewhere, and one day you will obtain what you seek. Then, speaking this much, he fell silent. Then after a few moments, he got up from his chair, and as he went into his room, he asked one of his disciples to speak Harikatha. His disciple spoke on the rather unlimited subject his Sri Gurudev had just conveyed in only a few words. He said, I have spoken many things, and despite his advanced age, Srila Guru Maharaj has tirelessly and repeatedly explained at great length and in a simple manner the scriptural truths pertaining to bhajan sadhan and the process to attain the lotus feet of Sri Hari. This is the disciple who he told to speak. He's conveying what he said. You have all heard so much. Here, Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, day after day, morning, noon, and night, I have unfailingly spoken Harikatha, sometimes addressing easy subject matters, and at other times tackling difficult ones. You have all heard so much, and you have grasped something, some more than others. Because of your extensive hearing, your path toward the ultimate goal of life has been without difficulty. So, remain engaged in spiritual activities. Now that you have understood many profound concepts concerning spiritual life, go forward and follow those teachings properly with firm conviction and according to the guidance offered by scriptures. And thus you will go somewhere. If you can daily and attentively serve, that is, worship the deities, behold them, study scripture, perform kirtan, chant japa, and meditate under the guidance of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, then the day will surely come when you will attain your prime objective. You will one day obtain what you seek. If you heed the previous 4 instructions, then in this 5th stage you will surely attain the rarely attained and the eternally revered divinity Sri Sri Radha Krishna. You will leave behind this temporary, inferior earthly realm, and you will reach Sri Goloka Vrindavan, where all abide in a perpetual blissful spring. Then your life will be a success. You will be happy, peaceful, immortal, and forever liberated, eternally full of sweetness and laughter. That's the end of this presentation. So interesting how the disciple was able to catch the essence, how he simply got up and said, speak Harikatha. So that means that his preaching to his disciples had been very effective. So this next section, which we'll only read for 15 minutes, however far we get. What? From Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj and his from his book, My Beloved Masters, glorifying Srila Bhakti Hriday Ban Maharaj. This, what I'm reading, is an extract of that book, which came on my Gmail my subscription to his Harikatha. So, how did Srila Bhakti Hriday Ban Maharaj, how did he come to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? How did he serve Srila Prabhupada, which pleased Srila Prabhupada? How did he manifest his unique capability to preach effectively, and thus was chosen by Srila Prabhupada to be the very first of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas to go to the Western countries outside of India and to preach the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So naturally he was very highly qualified. We know that this Pujapad Bhakti Hriday Ban Maharaj, he had preached actually throughout his life. Even after he went to the West, to Germany, and returned back just before the disappearance of Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati at the end of 1936. But he continued traveling and preaching into the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And then in the early 80s, he disappeared. But he even went to America. He even went to various other countries and so many universities and preaching places. So he was a very, very great preacher. We've also seen the book of his written lectures that he delivered in England and in Germany. There's actually a book printed of those lectures. Very scholarly. And he was a very capable personality. And he's the one that purchased that land which is directly opposite of our Srila Prabhupada's land, which is now known as the ISKCON temple, Sri Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan. But if you look at the property just a little bit towards, as you're going towards Loy Bazaar, on that same main road, is a gigantic university. It's called Ban Maharaj, Srila Ban Maharaj University. But when he founded that, this university was actually built later, which was not what he had intended on that piece of property, but which was later converted into a very lucrative project of this university, which is the biggest university in Vrindavan and in that whole area. Very, very successful. But his, I think the name of his university was the Oriental University of Philosophy, something like that. And so when we first visited Vrindavan in 1975, that was just an empty piece of land with a building on it where he resided. And Bhakti Hriday Ban Maharaj was a very interesting personality. He also established his temple in Vrindavan, which is just a little bit of a distance from the Madan Mohan temple on that same road, where his samadhi is also there. There was a disciple of our Srila Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj named Rishikeshananda. And he took sannyas for some time, but he didn't keep his sannyas. And he used to reside in Thailand for many, many years. But he wrote a number of articles because while he was living in India, in the very beginning after Prabhupada came to India, he also came and then Prabhupada left. After he came in 1967, when Prabhupada returned to India for 4 months, then there was a couple of devotees who also came. And for whatever reason, they decided to make their journey to India. And this devotee, Rishikeshananda, he wrote many articles back in the, the 1990s, when we used to have this website called VNN, Vaishnav News Network, And he wrote many articles about his time that he spent with Srila Bhaktihridaya Bhan Maharaj, and also Srila Akinchana Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, who is the greatest Kirtaniya in the Gaudiya Math practically, and how he says that he possibly attended at least 3,000 of his kirtans in that time period. But he told many things about Srila Bhaktihridaya Bhan Maharaj, which were very edifying and which clarified a lot of Srila Bhan Maharaj's history. And so this divine personality, during his time in the university in his younger years, Sri Srimad Bhaktihridaya Goswami Maharaj, who is then known as Sri Narendra Bandopadhyay. Narendra Bandopadhyay. He was an exceptionally bright student. He was well liked by both teachers and other students. And he displayed a natural aptitude for drama and theater. And because he had studied in an English medium school, he was fluent in English. Sri Narendra was his father's 10th and youngest son, and he was also very dear to him. After he finished his collegiate studies, then his father fell seriously ill, and due to this, some of the family moved from their village. They rented an apartment in Gandharia Palli, Dhaka, where his father had been admitted to the hospital and was undergoing treatment. So soon after their move, however, Sri Narendra became aloof from virtually all social activities. He suddenly found himself unconcerned for the affection of his family and friends, and instead he nourished his increasingly growing compulsion to find a bona fide guru and to perform Krishna bhajan and thereby make his life worthwhile. So, Bhagavan makes all kinds of arrangements for those who sincerely seek after him. And so, around this time, as a result of his powerful Bhakti Unmukha Sukriti, then Sri Narendra somehow came in contact with the devotees of Sri Gaudiya Math in Dhaka. There, Sri Narendra heard about Srila Prabhupada's extraordinary glories, and before long he decided to set out for Calcutta to have a glimpse of his holy feet on the pretext of picking up medicine for his father. So at Sri Gaudiya Math, Kolkata, Sri Narendra Bandopadhyay obtained the audience and the inexhaustible affection of Srila Prabhupada, whose powerful Harikatha inspired him to begin a new life. He decided not to return to Dhaka at all, and instead he arranged for someone to deliver his father's medicine while he remained at the Math in Calcutta. Then, after further hearing Srila Prabhupada's Harikatha for some days, Sri Narendra Bandopadhyay requested Srila Prabhupada for Harinam and Mantra Diksha. According to the verdict of the scriptures, both guru and disciple must examine one another before establishing a formal relationship based on initiation. Therefore, before his sanction, Srila Prabhupada examined Sri Narendra by asking him to compose an article in his own words, conveying some of what he had assimilated. So Sri Narendra carefully wrote an essay titled Atmiya K. That means, who is one's own? Who is one's own? Atmiya K. Now, although the word Atmiya is generally interpreted as relating to either the gross or the subtle body, Sri Narendra explained it in relation to the soul, the Atma. So, that Sri Narendra Bandopadhyay deeply understood such a grave subject matter in only a short time indicates he must have associated with sadhus, either earlier in his current life or in previous lives, for it would have been otherwise impossible. So Srila Prabhupada was so pleased by Sri Narendra Bandopadhyay's essay that he had it published in his weekly Gaudiya magazine. Year 2, issue 48, 26th of July, 1924. So he met him like 12 years before his disappearance, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. So in this way, Sri Narendra Bandyopadhyay passed his test. And shortly after, he received Pancharatrik Diksha from Srila Prabhupada and became known as Sri Nandasunu Brahmachari. Once he received Diksha initiation from his Guru Pada Padma, Sri Nandasunu Brahmachari constantly strived at every moment to adhere to the concept of Vishrambena Guror Seva. That is, performing intimate service to Sri Guru without hesitation or reservation. Sri Nandasunu Brahmachari, he was never seen diverting his attention from his efforts to serve Sri Hari Guru and Vaishnavas from that to indulgence in sense gratification for even a second. So, on 29th January 1925, the day of Sri Vishnu Priya Devi's appearance, then a pilgrimage tour of Sri Gauda Mandala commenced under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada. During the exhibition, Sripad Nandasunu Brahmachari spoke in many places as ordered by Srila Prabhupada, and he executed countless other services for Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, thereby becoming the recipient of his Sri Guru Pada Padma's profuse love and affection. And that same year, 1925, on the 4th of September, he accepted Tridanda Sannyas at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, and he became, as Tridandi Swami, Sri Mad Bhakti Hriday Van Goswami Maharaj. So when did he meet him? 22. 3 years later, he received sannyas. Now, one of Srila Prabhupada's cherished pursuits was to impart the message of pure devotion through the medium of his spiritual Sat Siksha Pradarshini exhibitions. You know what those were? These are like diorama exhibitions. Then Srila Van Goswami Maharaj was significantly involved in designing and in decorating the exhibits in Sridham Mayapur, Kolkata, Dhaka, Patna, Kashi, Prayag, and Kurukshetra. He was particularly involved in designing the dioramas of Sri Govardhan and the Sakis groves at Sri Radhakunda for an exhibition in Sridham Mayapur. So every solar eclipse, hundreds of thousands of people would journey to Kurukshetra to ritualistically take bath in the Brahma Sarovara. But the deep import of this ritual remains unknown to the vast majority of these pilgrims. So once, sometime before such a solar eclipse, Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Srila Van Goswami Maharaj in which he mentioned, this is in a little bit of a cryptic way, he mentioned, Srimati Radhika will soon go to meet with Krishna in Kurukshetra. And so we have some service to perform there as well. So although the message was short and cryptic, Srila Maharaj understood that his Sri Guru Pada Padma wanted him to manifest to the whole world a confidential pastime which previously appeared in the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami by the divine mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu. So to this end, during a month-long local fair in Kurukshetra, Srila Van Goswami Maharaj expertly created an exhibition with dioramas that beautifully depicted the following. Diorama number 1, Nanda Baba meeting with all the senior Vrajvasis before a solar eclipse. Number 2, the Brajvasis preparing to depart for Kurukshetra. Number 3, the deep dark forest they encountered on their journey being illuminated by the natural radiance of Sri Radha's body, which protected them against the attacks of wild animals. Number 3, the Brajvasis meeting with the Dwarkavasis. Number 4, Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda's tearful reunion with Sri Krishna, who burrowed himself so deeply into Yashoda's lap that it appeared as if he were trying to merge into her. Number 5, everyone's bathing in the Brahma Sarovara on the day of the solar eclipse. Number 6, the queens of Dwarka's proposal to donate to Narada Muni Krishna's weight in a precious substance during the solar eclipse, and Narada Muni's condition that he will take Krishna away with him should they be unable to match Krishna's weight. Number 7, the queens of Dwarka's prideful acceptance of Narada Muni's proposal, followed by their inability to give him a sufficient amount of gold. Number 8, their weeping at the thought of Narada taking Krishna away. Number 9, the advice of Mother Rohini to bring all the gopis headed by Sri Radha. Number 10, Sri Radha replacing all the queen's gold with a single tulsi leaf on which she had written the name Krishna. Number 11, that tulsi leaf outweighing Sri Krishna, thus establishing that Krishna Nam and Sri Krishna himself are non-different. It was the weight of the tulsi leaf that tipped the scale. Then number 12, Sri Krishna's meeting with the gopis in a secluded place on the pretext of falling ill and their subsequent conversation. Number 13, Sri Radha complaining to Sri Krishna and her attempt to pacify his attempt to pacify Sri Radha. Where was I? 14? 15. Number 16, the gopis demonstrating the insignificance of opulence, meaning Aishwarya, in the face of sweetness, Madhurya. Number 17, the weeping of Sri Radha and Krishna. Number 18, the gopis pulling Krishna in his chariot back to Vrindavan. And number 19, Sriman Mahaprabhu manifesting the mood of Sri Radha while dancing in front of Jagannath's chariot and ecstatically reciting a verse from a seemingly mundane poem, Yak Komara Hara Saeva Hivaras Ta Eva Chaitra Krapas Te Chon Milite Malati Surabaya Prodha Kadambani La Sa Chaivasmi Tatapi Tatra Surata Vyapara Lila Vidho. So it means, he who has stolen away my youth is now my husband. And these are the same moonlit nights in the month of Chaitra when we first met in our youth. The same breezes from the Kadamba forest are blowing the same light, sweet fragrance from the blossoming Malati flowers. And in our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover. But nonetheless, my heart is longing for the amorous, love-laden play of our first meeting at the foot of the Vaitasi tree on the bank of the river Reva. Then, Srila Rupa Goswami mentally composing a parallel verse that revealed the mood and the intended meaning of Sriman Mahaprabhu's poetic recitation. Priyak soyam Krishna sahachari kurukshetra militas tataham saradha tadidambuayor sangama sukam tatapyantak kelan madhura murali panchamajushe mano me kalindi pulina vimpinaya sprihayati. So this is Rupa Goswami's commentary on that verse that Mahaprabhu was reciting in the Ratha Yatra festival, and no one could understand because it sounded to everyone that he was reciting mundane poetry of the relationship between a mundane lady and a man who were reminiscing that they had met in that place, and they were reminiscing about how they felt during their youth when they met there. But now Rupa Goswami wrote this new verse. This is very significant, but the point is that these verses were shown in these diorama exhibitions. Quite amazing. that Sripad Pujapad Bon Bhakti Hriday Bon Maharaj, that he had understood to such a deep extent all of these different pastimes, and he is the one that produced all of these exhibitions in the form of dioramas. So the meaning of this verse, and I'm going to come to the end of this class in a couple of minutes. The meaning of this verse is, my dear friend, in this Kurukshetra is that very same Sri Krishna who had secretly engaged in amorous pastimes with me in Vrindavan. And I am also the same Radha, and the happiness of our meeting is still the same. But nonetheless, my heart is yearning for that very forest of Vrindavan, situated on the banks of the Yamuna, where Sri Krishna used to continuously engage in pastimes and play the fifth note of his charming Murali flute. Reva rodasi vetasi tarutale chetak samutkantate. So, there's two more dioramas. Srila Rupa Goswami later, he's writing this verse on a palm leaf, and he's keeping it in the thatched roof of his bhajan kutir. And then the last one is Sriman Mahaprabhu's ecstasy upon finding and reading that verse, and his admittance that Rupa Goswami was able to understand his heart, because he had previously blessed him in Prayag. And then next to each diorama, Srila Van Goswami Maharaj placed a brief description, and he also posted a devotee to further explain its depicted pastime. Srila Prabhupada was highly pleased by this arrangement. And all those who attended the exhibition were endlessly grateful to have learned the real purpose of visiting Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse. It is exceedingly difficult for a disciple to understand the intentions of Sri Guru, who, being a sincere follower of Shrotavani, of the teachings of the Vedas, which are often conveyed indirectly, he relishes parokshavad, or indirect speech. So only his antaranga disciples are capable of understanding the true intended meanings of his words. So the term antaranga, or internal, it refers to one who has proven himself to possess such firm faith that Sri Gurudev relies on him completely, and without hesitation he allows him to enter into the innermost chamber of his heart. So because Srila Van Goswami Maharaj was an intimate antaranga associate of Srila Prabhupada, he understood the true meaning of his Gurudev's mysterious instruction, and he was thus able to serve him in a way that fulfilled his heart's desire. So in this way, there's a very lengthy description, which we're not going to read right now, about Srila Bon Maharaj, his life. And there are some sections about his natural talent, then sending this worthy preacher to the West, and what he was able to accomplish in the West. Then renouncing even renunciation for the service of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Then preaching in England and Germany. And a lot of details where he preached. Then preaching in universities and in colleges. Yes. And even all the way up till 74 and 75. He went to India via Hong Kong, Japan. He went to the Midwest of the United States, Chicago, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Boston, Stockbridge, New York. And he also visited America to propound the glories of Mahaprabhu's philosophy and along the way, Germany, Austria, Belgium, Holland, Denmark, Sweden, and various other places. And then his translation of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu was accepted as a thesis by universities in America and in Sweden. They awarded him an honorary doctorate degree in literature and divinity, respectively. Wow. And then to train all the youth of Braja, he specifically founded the Oriental Philosophy, the Institute of Oriental Philosophy in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So many literary contributions, and he was one of the sons of Srila Saraswati Thakur, and his love and respect for Srila Bhakti Dayata Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and how he had firm faith in Srila Prabhupada's guidance amid all discomfort, and his love and dedication for his deities. And that's the end of this article. Gaur Premanande. Srila Bhakti Hriday Ban Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Great preacher disciple of Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Srila Bhakti Hriday Ban Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad Transcendental Disappearance Day Ki Jai. And Srila Bhakti, what is it? Bhakti Saurabh, Bhakti Saurabh, Bhakti Sar Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to their lotus feet and their contribution to the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the line of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So we will resume our next class on Thursday, today is the 23rd, and on Thursday the 25th we'll have our next class, but the next day after that is Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami's disappearance day. So that the Thursday is Srila Bhakti Jivan Acharya Maharaj. So that's on Thursday, and on Friday is Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Then on Sunday is Srila Lokanath Goswami. So what we could do next week is we could skip the Thursday class and have it on Friday instead. And we can cover both of these personalities, and then on Sunday, on the 28th, 2 days after, then we'll have Srila Lokanath Goswami's observation on Sunday of his disappearance day. Okay? So that's what we're going to do, and that will be very beneficial for us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Vrindai Tulsidebai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satchavachai Namo Namaha Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees. How do I say that again in Russian? I forgot. Vsia slava savrafriam sia priyadanit.